This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat. Therefore, we keeping a foot on the what? We keeping a foot on the what? Now, although Kobe didn't surpass Michael Jordan, and he didn't avoid stepping into the great man's shoes, here's where Kobe Bryant benefited. Kobe Bryant never accepted free lunch. Be very careful to accept free lunch. That's Law 40 of the 48 Laws of Power. This means accepting bargains. This means accepting discounts. This means accepting anything that is of any type of situation where you're accepting less than the full amount. Anyone that understands power understands one thing very clear, and that's it. That means never cheat yourself. That means when it comes to paying for things, whether it means paying for women, whether it means paying for food, paying for services, never be the motherfucker that's right there trying to get the bargain. Never be the motherfucker that's right there trying to be the sadist. Never be the motherfucker that's trying to be the indiscriminate giver. Never be the motherfucker that's sitting there and basically acting like a greedy motherfucker, a greedy fish. Always be that motherfucker that has a instinctive, a transcending mindset to want to push themselves to a position where they're always looking at the bigger fucking picture. What do I mean when I say that? Kobe Bryant never accepted free lunch. That's why in the second half of his basketball career was basically stepping into a great man's shoes. But the second half of his basketball career, which is outside of his basketball career, Kobe Bryant created his own lane. Because Kobe Bryant never accepted free lunch. See, Kobe Bryant followed the 40 laws, the 40th law of the 48 laws of power to the T. He followed it to the complete vernacular, the complete form, the complete variation of it. And he gets all of the credit for it. This man tried. Got to give him all the credit in the world. Now, I know people are offended by the last video, but when you're telling the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, the cutthroat truth-teller fashion, it's not about getting offended. You're only offended if you're seeing things from a small picture mindset. If you look at everything from a big picture mindset, you would understand the full weight, the full gravity, and the full magnitude of what He Knows Everything is saying. Even Kobe would tell you that. I didn't get to where Michael Jordan is at. That's why he came out of his mouth and said Michael Jordan is the GOAT. See, I can only go by the GOAT's mouth. This is why Kobe Bryant's not an NBA GOAT. He's GOATed. These are facts. Michael Jordan is the only NBA GOAT. These are facts. This is the distinction. This is the separation. This is the gulf, and this is basically the delineation between them. Now, if Kobe Bryant would have won, like I said, the Detroit Pistons title, would have nabbed up the Finals MVP. 08 Celtics nabbed up the Finals MVP. Now we're talking about two NBA GOATs. But what we have in the NBA, which is unique, is we have an NBA GOAT, and we have one that was GOATed. But he was GOATed by who? The NBA GOAT, because the NBA GOAT said he deserves the comparisons. He never said that about anybody else. So that tells you that Kobe Bryant is the closest thing we've ever fucking seen to Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now back on to this free lunch point, because this point is very crucial and it's very important to explain and break down. Kobe Bryant was never willing to accept free lunch. So because of that mentality, if you look at the second half of his basketball career, which is not his basketball career, Kobe Bryant was able to do things that Michael Jordan wasn't able to do. Kobe Bryant became basically a guy who was an Oscar winner. Michael Jordan never won an Oscar. Kobe Bryant went into books, children's books. He went into different facets. Kobe Bryant went into hedge funding, venture capitalism, things that Michael Jordan didn't see. So Kobe Bryant was carving out a path post-basketball that would have put him in a GOAT status, in of his own lane. So when people sit there and look at the short-sightedness of the first video, they're not understanding that there's a roller coaster effect. First, you must shoot a motherfucker down before you bring them up. Let me say it again. First, you must shoot a motherfucker down before you bring them up. But shooting them down, not in a negative way. It's just telling the truth. There was always going to be a moment of elevation for KB24. There was always going to be a moment of rising from the ashes like the phoenix of KB24. We knew this to be fucking true because KB24 is a complete basketball player. He's a stimulus package basketball player. He has the Mamba mentality. He is studied in schools, second to Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So he's proven himself as being the closest thing we've ever seen from a basketball standpoint. But outside of that, Michael Jordan was looking up to Kobe Bryant. See, now if we're not talking basketball, now Kobe Bryant has created lanes that Jordan didn't fucking create. Jordan talked about it in the funeral that Kobe was teaching him how to be a better parent. See, these are things that Kobe Bryant was superior than Michael Jordan to. And these are the things where Kobe Bryant was an actual GOAT. Kobe Bryant was a GOAT in life. Michael Jordan was GOATed in life. You see the difference? You see how the shoes have turned? You see how everything has basically turned itself around? Because Kobe Bryant realized that I'm not going to be able to surpass this guy from a basketball standpoint, but I can surpass him in other ways. And that's what he did prior to his death. Michael Jordan fell up under the shackles of Nike. Kobe Bryant, on the other hand, was creating the Mamba shoe. So before y'all jump to conclusions, unless you're a real G, a super real G, and an ultimate real G out here in these basketball streets or these streets called life, you would have understand that He Knows Everything would have always had a rising of the phoenix of the ashes for KB24 when it's all said and done. We're going to leave KB24 with just the last video in of itself. Although the last video was truth, it wasn't the truth you wanted to fucking hear, but truth has no respect of persons. Let me say it again. The truth has no respect of persons. You just have to accept the truth. And if you don't accept the truth, you are in erroneous fucking ways. But outside of basketball, post-basketball, the things that Kobe Bryant was getting ready to do prior to his death, that put Kobe Bryant in the 40th of the 48 laws of power to not accept free lunch. Kobe Bryant would not accept no free lunch. Everything that he did, he wanted to pay full. Because when you make a full payment, and this is going to hit a lot of people that's sitting here not buying pay-per-views at full price, people that are sitting here cheating the system, streaming, torrenting, doing all kinds of shit that you're not supposed to be fucking doing. You're supposed to pay. This is power. If you call yourself a true alpha extraordinaire governed by true alpha economics, if you call yourself powerful at the highest levels, you got to pay for shit for full. Because when you pay for shit in full, you appreciate the fullness of it. If you notice, most motherfuckers that don't pay shit in full, they're the motherfuckers that complain the most. And they're the motherfuckers that always cheat the system. Kobe Bryant's not a cheater of systems. Kobe Bryant will pay everything in fucking full. That's why Kobe Bryant never accepted free lunch. And because he never accepted free lunch, he created greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. This is how he became greatness personification. Okay, I can't step out of the shoes and the 41 of the 48 laws of power of this great man, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But I never accepted free lunch in the 40th of the 48 laws of power. So because of that, I'm carving out my own greatness personification in of that self. This is why Kobe Bryant gets the biggest salute of the damn day. This is why Kobe Bryant stands out, even amongst Michael Jordan, because he was also able to do things that Michael Jordan couldn't do. And remember what the 41 law of the 48 laws of power says: avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. But if you're going to step into a great man's shoes, if you want to be able to showcase that you are greater in any fashion than the great man, you have to do things that the great man didn't do. You have to show distinction. You have to show separation. You have to show golf, and you have to show a distance. And this is what Kobe Bryant showed post basketball. Mamba shoe line, children's books, winning a fucking Oscar. This right here revealed to you guys why Kobe Bryant in of himself created the delineation, created the distinction, created the golf and the separation of him having a namesake that was just as great as Michael Jordan's. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat true teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.
If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free.